Okay, beautiful people. I am going to give my margarita recipe. Now, why? Because this is one of the only frozen margaritas I really like. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. And also, it's like you do you in every way. In other words, I'm gonna do this so that you can have one starting place from which to concoct your own brilliance as you desire. The thing I love about this margarita is that it tastes like it has no alcohol in it. I've had people who are like, oh, that's pretty good. And they will have a couple while sitting down, and then they'll go to stand up and go, whoa, which I think is kind of fun. Let's get to the actual recipe. So, 1 container of Minute Maid limeade. Now the thing is, you're like, some people like small container, large container. It doesn't matter because we're using a container as a reference point for what we're doing. So 1 container of Minute Maid limeade. Then, also a couple scoops of frozen OJ. Yeah, it's a bit much. A little less than that. Oy, a little bit less. Yeah, about that much. A couple tablespoons. Doesn't really matter. It's just, it changes the flavor slightly, makes it smoother, and also changes the color a bit. Now, I use a really good tequila. Now, one of my favorites for these margaritas is Don Julio Reposado. It's interesting because I saw a review and the guy was saying Don Julio sucks and all this sort of stuff. Well, I like it. And you could use silver. I've got Don Julio Silver also. The Reposado, in my opinion, it's a little more expensive, but it does something with the flavor. It seems like it makes it a little bit more full-bodied from my perspective. Okay, so just fill one of these with that. Then, some of you would use triple sec. I prefer Cointreau because it's like a slightly higher version. Or there's actually a really great Curacao that has less sugar in it, but I don't remember what the name is. So once again, if you can find that, if you know more about this than I do, please, you do you. Okay, so what I did is I put about that much, which you're like, how much is that, Dr. Dain? And 20%, about 1/5, about to right here. It doesn't really require much. It just adds a little bit of orange fullness. There you go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add ice till, I'll show you. I'm showing you my socks. Check those babies out. Yeah, I went running. Okay, here we go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, right about there. And if you'll notice, you can't really tell, but basically, if I were to throw a few more ice cubes on top, they would basically sit on the top. See how they sit on the top and then they barely succumb to getting wet? So, I mean, don't get me started. I know that ice is just frozen water, so it's already theoretically wet. Okay, in this case about, I don't know, 4 or 5 ounces. And so you fill it to almost to the fill line. I'm using a Vitamix, so whatever. And we're gonna blend. Y'all know about that. Start slow. Now you notice at the end it started doing, that's when you know to stop, or one of the indications. Okay, so here it is. There's the consistency. Pours well. Still has a lot of frozenness to it. I didn't put anything on the rim. You can do all that. I just wanted to show you so that you could have one of the easiest margarita recipes. And we're very strong margarita with very little proof that it was that strong. Very nice. Now, you might want to leave out the Cointreau. You might want to water it down a little bit more. There's so many other things you can do. Definitely, I would suggest putting some salt and tahini on the rim. You can scope that out somewhere else. So Welcome to Dr. Dain's famous margarita recipe. I call them Dain-aritas, and they tend to be a big hit at parties. So there you go. So go forth, party, have way too much fun. Mwah. Bye-bye. Oh, I almost forgot. Now, normally I have a different bottle to do this with, but Grand Marnier, little Grand Marnier float. Woo! Just, that's why you don't use this bottle. You probably can't see it, it's too lit, but little Grand Marnier float adds to the fun factor. There you go. Oh, by the way, if you like this, please like and subscribe. That way, all the stuff we do can be seen by more people. And who doesn't need a good margarita recipe? Let's face it. Okay, bye-bye.